I was at a rooftop bar in downtown Austin celebrating my promotion with my coworkers. The night was warm and the city lights sparkled below us like scattered diamonds. I had just been promoted to senior brand strategist after 3 years of grinding. My team took me out to toast. We ordered bottle after bottle. I lost count after the third round. By 11 o'clock, I was very, very drunk. My memory gets fuzzy after that. But here is what I remember. I remember stumbling to the restroom. I remember pulling out my phone to call a rideshare. And I remember seeing a video ad on my social media feed. It was the new global campaign for Donovan International. The face on the screen was Alexander Donovan. He was the youngest son of the billionaire industrialist family. And he was also a model. His face was everywhere that year. Billboards, magazines, bus stops, airport terminals. But on my phone screen, in that tiny glowing rectangle, he looked like he was looking right at me, like he could see through the glass and into my drunk soul. I stopped walking. I leaned against the wall of the corridor outside the restroom. The wall was cold against my back. I held my phone up to my face. The light illuminated my cheeks. He was so handsome. His jaw was sharp. His eyes were blue. His smile was soft. "You're so handsome," I whispered. "My husband, my beautiful husband." I kissed the screen. Someone was behind me laughing. I didn't care. I kissed my phone again and again and again. "My husband," I said. "I love you." I didn't know that my coworker Mia was recording. I didn't know she would post it on TikTok. I didn't know anything because I was drunk. And then I was asleep. The next morning, I woke up with a pounding headache and 27 missed calls. My mouth tasted terrible, my hair smelled like a bar, and my phone would not stop buzzing. I rolled over, I squinted at the screen. Mia had sent me a link. The video. It was me kissing my phone, whispering to Alexander Donovan, calling him my husband. The video had 3 million views. The comments were a mix of laughter and secondhand embarrassment. Cool, same. I've kissed my phone screen too many times to count. This is so wholesome. Alexander Donovan, please respond to this queen.
I was at a rooftop bar in downtown Austin celebrating my promotion with my coworkers. The night was warm and the city lights sparkled below us like scattered diamonds. I had just been promoted to senior brand strategist after 3 years of grinding. My team took me out to toast. We ordered bottle after bottle. I lost count after the third round. By 11 o'clock, I was very, very drunk. My memory gets fuzzy after that, but here is what I remember. I remember stumbling to the restroom. I remember pulling out my phone to call a rideshare, and I remember seeing a video ad on my social media feed. It was the new global campaign for Donovan International. The face on the screen was Alexander Donovan. He was the youngest son of the billionaire industrialist family, and he was also a model. His face was everywhere that year. Billboards, magazines, bus stops, airport terminals. But on my phone screen, in that tiny glowing rectangle, he looked like he was looking right at me, like he could see through the glass and into my drunk soul. I stopped walking. I leaned against the wall of the corridor outside the restroom. The wall was cold against my back. I held my phone up to my face. The light illuminated my cheeks. He was so handsome. His jaw was sharp. His eyes were blue. His smile was soft. "You're so handsome," I whispered. "My husband, my beautiful husband." I kissed the screen. Someone was behind me laughing. I didn't care. I kissed my phone again and again and again. "My husband," I said. "I love you." I didn't know that my coworker Mia was recording. I didn't know she would post it on TikTok. I didn't know anything because I was drunk. And then I was asleep. The next morning, I woke up with a pounding headache and 27 missed calls. My mouth tasted terrible. My hair smelled like a bar, and my phone would not stop buzzing. I rolled over. I squinted at the screen. Mia had sent me a link. The video. It was me, kissing my phone, whispering to Alexander Donovan, calling him my husband. The video had 3 million views. The comments were a mix of laughter and secondhand embarrassment. Girl, same. I've kissed my phone screen too many times to count. This is so wholesome. Alexander Donovan, please respond to this queen. "Interesting," he said. "Very interesting. Why?" I asked. Because his father is our biggest client. Donovan International is the reason this agency exists. They spend more on marketing than our next 3 clients combined. And tomorrow night, he paused, there's a charity gala hosted by the Donovan family. I need someone to represent our firm. Someone who can make a good impression. Someone who can network. He looked at me. You're going. I wanted to die. I spent the next day preparing. I bought a new dress, navy blue, simple but elegant. I practiced what I would say in the mirror. Good evening, Mr. Donovan. Thank you for having me. It's an honor to be here. I would definitely not mention the video. I would definitely not call anyone husband. I would definitely not kiss any screens. I rehearsed until my reflection looked bored. The gala was at a hotel downtown, the Grand Austin. Crystal chandeliers hung from the ceiling. Champagne towers sparkled under the lights. String quartets played classical music. Everyone who was anyone was there. Tech founders, real estate magnates, politicians, actors. I clutched my little clutch purse and tried to look like I belonged. Mr. Harrison introduced me to a few people. A marketing director from a luxury car brand, a social media executive from a fashion house. Then he disappeared to talk to investors. I was standing near the bar trying to decide between white wine or just leaving when a voice came from behind me. You're the girl from the video. I turned around. Alexander Donovan was standing 2 feet away from me. He was taller than I expected, at least 6'3". His hair was darker than in the ads, almost black. His eyes were bluer, like the ocean on a summer day. He was wearing a black suit with no tie. The top 2 buttons of his shirt were undone. I could see the hollow of his throat. I opened my mouth. No words came out. He smiled. It was worse than the video, because in the video he was a picture. Here he was real, and he was smiling at me. I'm sorry, I finally managed. My voice was too high. I was drunk. I didn't mean to.
Don't apologize, he said. It was the best thing that happened to me all week. I don't believe you. He laughed. It was a real laugh, deep and warm. You're right. The best thing that happened to me all week was signing a deal with a Japanese distribution company. But your video was a close second. I laughed. It was a nervous laugh, but it was real. He offered me a glass of champagne from a passing tray. I took it. Our fingers almost touched. We talked for an hour, maybe 2. I lost track of time. He told me about his family. His father started Donovan International from nothing, built it into a global empire. His mother was a former actress. She met his father at a film festival. His older brother, Nicholas, ran the European division. He was the serious one, the one who never smiled in photos. He was the youngest, the one who got to do the fun stuff, like model for the advertising campaigns. He said it was supposed to be a temporary thing, but the campaigns were successful, so they kept using him. Now his face was everywhere. He couldn't go to a coffee shop without being recognized. He told me about his grandmother. She was 85 and still sharp. She called him every morning to make sure he was eating breakfast. She had watched my video 12 times. His grandmother. I wanted to die, in a good way. I told him about my job, about the brands I worked on, about how I got promoted last week, about how I almost didn't come tonight because I was so embarrassed. I'm glad you came, he said. I'm glad you kissed your phone. I covered my face with my hands. Stop! Never! He gently pulled my hands away. His fingers were warm. Don't hide, he said. You're beautiful when you're embarrassed. My face got even redder. At the end of the night, he walked me to my car. It was parked in the underground garage. The lights were dim. I would offer to drive you home, he said, but I don't know where you live, and that might be too forward for a first meeting. It might, I said. He handed me his phone. Put your number in.
Don't apologize, he said. It was the best thing that happened to me all week. I don't believe you. He laughed. It was a real laugh, deep and warm. You're right. The best thing that happened to me all week was signing a deal with a Japanese distribution company. But your video was a close second. I laughed. It was a nervous laugh, but it was real. He offered me a glass of champagne from a passing tray. I took it. Our fingers almost touched. We talked for an hour, maybe 2. I lost track of time. He told me about his family. His father started Donovan International from nothing, built it into a global empire. His mother was a former actress. She met his father at a film festival. His older brother Nicholas ran the European division. He was the serious one, the one who never smiled in photos. He was the youngest, the one who got to do the fun stuff, like model for the advertising campaigns. He said it was supposed to be a temporary thing, but the campaigns were successful, so they kept using him. Now his face was everywhere. He couldn't go to a coffee shop without being recognized. He told me about his grandmother. She was 85 and still sharp. She called him every morning to make sure he was eating breakfast. She had watched my video 12 times. His grandmother! I wanted to die. In a good way. I told him about my job, about the brands I worked on, about how I got promoted last week, about how I almost didn't come tonight because I was so embarrassed. I'm glad you came, he said. I'm glad you kissed your phone. I covered my face with my hands. Stop. Never. He gently pulled my hands away. His fingers were warm. Don't hide, he said. You're beautiful when you're embarrassed. My face got even redder. At the end of the night, he walked me to my car. It was parked in the underground garage. The lights were dim. I would offer to drive you home, he said, but I don't know where you live, and that might be too forward for a first meeting. It might, I said. He handed me his phone. Put your number in.
You asked. His mother hugged me. She smelled like expensive perfume and fresh flowers. She said, "Call me Diana." His father shook my hand. His grip was firm. He looked me in the eyes. His grandmother patted my cheek. She was a tiny woman with silver hair and sharp eyes. "You're the phone kisser," she said. "I like you." I wanted to die, but in a good way. Dinner was chaotic. There were 12 people around the table. Aunts, uncles, cousins, everyone talked over everyone else. The food was incredible. The wine was better. Alexander's brother Nicholas was there. He was the serious one, the one who ran the European division. He was also very handsome, in a different way, more intense, more focused. His eyes were the same blue as Alexander's, but colder, more calculating. Nicholas sat across from me. He asked me about my work, about the brands I managed, about market trends, about my strategies. He was impressed. He said so. Alexander noticed. He put his hand on my knee under the table. I almost choked on my wine. After dinner, I walked in the garden. It was huge. Fountains, flowers, a greenhouse. Alexander followed. What was that? What was what? You put your hand on my knee. You were flirting with my brother. I was not. You were. He was being polite. He was being flirty. I didn't see it that way. He stepped closer. Well, I did. He was jealous. Alexander Donovan, the man whose face is on billboards across the country, was jealous of his brother because of me. I couldn't help but smile. You're cute when you're jealous. I'm never jealous, he said. Then he kissed me, right there, in his mother's garden, under the string lights. The flowers were blooming, the air was sweet. The kiss was soft at first, then it wasn't. Then it was everything. We stayed in the garden for a long time. When we went back inside, everyone was looking at us. Nicholas raised his glass. Finally, he said. His grandmother clapped. I knew it, she said. I knew it from the video. His mother smiled, his father nodded. I spent the night in Alexander's room, his childhood room. There were trophies on the shelves, from tennis, from debate, from math competitions. There were old photos on the walls. Him as a baby, him as a kid with a gap-toothed smile, him graduating high school, and a poster of a space shuttle. I wanted to be an astronaut, he said. What happened? I got too tall. He was 6'3", too tall for a space shuttle. I laughed. He kissed me again. 3 months later, Alexander invited me to a family charity auction. It was a black tie event, hundreds of people, the biggest names in the city. I wore a red dress. He wore a black suit. We arrived together. Photographers took our picture. I tried not to look terrified. Inside, the auction was in full swing. Paintings, sculptures, jewelry, a vintage car, a trip to Paris. The auctioneer was energetic. The bidding was fierce. Then came the children's art segment. Local students had donated artwork. The proceeds went to arts education programs. A boy named Leo, maybe 8 years old, had painted a picture of a rocket ship. It was charming. Imperfect. Adorable. The colors were bright. The rocket had flames shooting out the back. There were stars in the background and a little astronaut floating outside. The bidding started at $500. Then a woman in the front row raised her paddle. She was Alexander's aunt, his father's sister. Her name was Patricia. She bid $10,000. Then she turned to the person next to her. "Watch this," she said. "I'll get it for nothing." Her son, a boy around 10, grabbed the paddle from her hand. "I want to bid," he said. "Give it back," she whispered. Her voice was sharp. "No!" He stood up. He waved the paddle like a flag. $20,000! The room went quiet. You could hear a pin drop. Patricia's face went red. She grabbed her son's arm. "Sit down now." "No, I want the painting." The boy was screaming now. His voice echoed off the high ceilings. Other guests were staring. Some were whispering. The auctioneer looked uncomfortable. He glanced at the Donovan family table. Alexander's father stood up. He walked to Patricia's table. He leaned down. He said something quietly in her ear. I couldn't hear the words, but I saw Patricia's face go from red to white. Her mouth opened, then closed, then opened again. The boy threw himself on the floor, kicking, screaming, crying. "I want the painting! I want it! I want it now!" Patricia tried to pull him up. He slapped her hand away. "This is your fault," he screamed. "You never buy me anything. I hate you. I hate this family. I hate everyone." The room was completely silent. You could hear the boy's sobs echo off the walls. Alexander squeezed my hand under the table. He looked at me. His eyes were asking, "What should we do?"
I looked at the boy. Then I looked at the painting. The rocket ship, the stars, the little astronaut. Then I did something. I stood up. I walked to the front of the room. I picked up the painting of the rocket ship from the display table. I walked to where the boy was lying on the floor, screaming, crying, making a scene. I knelt down in front of him. "Hey," I said. My voice was calm, soft. "Hey, buddy." He stopped screaming. He looked at me. His face was wet with tears. His nose was running. His eyes were red. "What?" he said. His voice was defensive. "You really like this painting?" "Yes." "What do you like about it?" He pointed. His finger was shaking. "The rocket," he said. "It's going to space." I nodded. "It is. It's a very good rocket. The best rocket." He sniffled. "I know. Would you like to meet the artist?" He looked at me. His eyes widened. "The artist is here?" "Yes. Leo. The boy who painted it. He's right over there." I pointed to a corner of the room. A shy boy with glasses was standing with his mother. He was holding a juice box. He looked scared. The screaming boy looked at me. Then he looked at me. "Really? Really? Can I go ask him?" "Go." The boy ran to Leo. He stopped in front of him. He was out of breath. "Did this?" He pointed at the painting still in my hands. Leo nodded. His grip tightened on his juice box. "I love it," the screaming boy said. His voice was quiet now. "It's the best painting I've ever seen," Leo smiled. "It was small, but it was real. Do you want to know how I mixed the orange for the flames?" "Yes." They started talking. Leo showed him the colors. The screaming boy listened. He asked questions. He stopped screaming. He stopped crying. He just listened. Patricia looked at me. Her expression was complicated. Gratitude, shame, embarrassment. I didn't say anything to her. I walked back to Alexander. He was smiling. He started. "Don't," I said.
I couldn't stand the screaming. It was hurting my ears. You're amazing. I'm not. You are. After the auction, Alexander's father pulled me aside. We were standing near the bar. The crowd was thinning out. Chloe, he said. That was impressive. Your son was about to lose his mind, I said. I thought I should intervene before he broke something. Alexander's father laughed. He won't admit it, but he was about to lose his mind too. He put his hand on my shoulder. You handled that beautifully. Thank you, Mr. Donovan. Call me Richard. He walked away. Alexander appeared beside me. My father never tells anyone to call him Richard. What does that mean? It means he likes you. It means he approves. The next morning, Alexander got a call from his agent. He was in the kitchen making coffee. I was sitting at the counter, watching him. His back was to me. His shoulders were tense. Then he turned around. His face was different. What? I asked. I got the role. The lead. In the Martin Scorsese film. Alexander, that's incredible. I ran to him.
I hugged him. He hugged me back. But the filming location is 3 states away, he said. New Mexico. 4 months of shooting. I pulled back, looked at his face. I don't have to take it. Take it, I said. It's a great opportunity. You've been waiting for something like this. I'll miss you. I'll miss you too. But we can call, we can text, we can visit. He took the role. The first month was hard. He was working 16-hour days, sometimes 18. I was working late nights too. Our texts became shorter, our calls less frequent. I missed him, but I didn't want to be the girlfriend who complained, so I didn't. One weekend, I decided to surprise him. I booked a flight. I didn't tell him. I arrived at the filming location on a Saturday afternoon. It was a small town in the desert. The air was dry. The sun was hot. I took a taxi to the set. The security guard wouldn't let me in. I don't have a pass, I said. I'm here to see Alexander Donovan. Everyone is here to see Alexander Donovan, the guard said. He was not impressed. I called his assistant, a young woman named Sarah. We had texted a few times. She came running to the gate, out of breath. Chloe, she said, you're here. He doesn't know. I wanted to surprise him. She smiled. Follow me. She led me through the maze of trailers and equipment, past crew members carrying cables, past actors in costume, past the craft services table. They were filming a scene. Alexander was there. And the female lead, a famous actress named Victoria. She was beautiful, blonde, tall, elegant, everything I was not. They were shooting a romantic scene. Not a kiss, just a close conversation. But they were standing very close, and she was touching his arm, and he was looking at her like she was the only person in the world. I felt something twist in my chest, something sharp, something cold. I told myself it was acting. It was his job. I knew that. But it still hurt. The director called cut. Victoria laughed. She touched Alexander's chest. She said something I couldn't hear. He smiled. It was a professional smile. But it was still a smile. Then he saw me. His face changed. His eyes widened. His mouth opened. He walked toward me. Chloe, he said. You're here. Surprise, I said. My voice sounded strange, even to me. What's wrong? Nothing. I came to visit. That's all. Victoria walked over. She looked at me. Then at Alexander. Is this your girlfriend? She asked. Yes, he said. He put his arm around my waist. His hand was warm. Victoria smiled. It didn't reach her eyes. Lovely to meet you, she said. Then she walked away.
Her heels clicked on the ground. Alexander looked at me. You're upset. I'm not. You are. You saw the scene. I saw it. It's work. I know. Then why are you upset? I wasn't upset. I didn't know how to say it. I was jealous of an actress doing her job. I was being ridiculous. I knew that. He kissed my forehead. There's nothing to be jealous of.
I know. He took my hand. Let's get out of here. We went to his trailer. It was small, but it had a couch and a mini fridge and a picture of us on the nightstand. He made me tea. We talked for hours. He told me about the film, about the characters, about the director, about how much he missed me. I told him about work, about my team, about how I stayed up late watching his old interviews on YouTube. You did not. I did. Which one? The one where you tripped on the red carpet at the Cannes Festival? He groaned. Don't remind me. It was adorable. You almost fell into the photographer. He kissed me. I forgot about Victoria. For a while. 2 weeks later, my mother called. She had been after me for months. Chloe, she said, you need to meet my friend's son. He's very nice, good family, good job, good teeth. Mom, you're not getting any younger. I'm 28. Exactly. Not getting any younger, she cried. She guilted me. She said I was breaking her heart. She said she just wanted me to be happy. So I agreed to coffee. 1 coffee. That's all. I told myself it wasn't a date. It was just being polite. The coffee was on a Sunday afternoon at a cafe near my apartment. His name was Daniel. He was tall, polite, boring. He wore a blue button-down shirt. His hair was gelled. He talked about his job in finance, about his condo downtown, about his plans to retire early. He was 32. He wanted to retire at 45. I nodded. I smiled. I checked my phone. Alexander had texted. Good morning, beautiful. I didn't reply right away. Daniel asked about my job. I answered. He asked about my hobbies. I answered. He asked if I had a boyfriend. I said, it's complicated. He nodded. Like he understood. He didn't. After an hour, I said I had to go. I had work. I had laundry. I had anything. He asked for my number. I gave him my work email. He looked disappointed. I didn't care. That night, Alexander called. How was your day? Good. What did you do? I hesitated. The pause was too long. Nothing. Went to a cafe. With who? A friend. What friend? I was quiet. He was quiet. The silence was loud. Then he said, Chloe, are you seeing someone else? No. Then who were you with? My mother set up a coffee. A date. I wasn't going to tell you because it didn't mean anything. It didn't mean anything. He hung up. I called him back. He didn't answer. I texted him. He didn't reply. I cried. Then I got angry. Then I cried again. Then I called him 17 more times. He answered on the 18th. What? His voice was cold. I'm sorry, I said. I should have told you. I should have said no.
But my mom, she... I stopped. I took a breath. It didn't mean anything, I promise. He was quiet. Then he said, I'm coming home.
You're filming? I don't care. He hung up. The next morning, there was a knock on my door. It was early. The sun was just coming up. I opened the door. Alexander was standing there. He had flown all night. His eyes were red. His hair was messy. His shirt was wrinkled. He looked exhausted. He looked beautiful. What are you doing here? I couldn't sleep. He walked past me into my apartment. I closed the door. We stood in my living room. The morning light was gray. Neither of us spoke. The clock ticked on the wall. Then he said, I'm sorry. For hanging up. For not answering. For being an idiot. You were jealous? Yes, he said. I was jealous. I was jealous of some guy you had coffee with while I was filming romantic scenes with Victoria. Hypocritical? Yes. He sat on my couch. His shoulders slumped. I sat next to him. Close enough that our knees touched. I'm not seeing anyone else, I said. I never was. I know, he said. I know. I was just scared. Of what? Losing you. I took his hand. His fingers were cold. I warmed them with mine. You're not going to lose me. Promise? Promise. We sat like that for a long time. The sun rose higher. The room got brighter. Then he kissed me. And I kissed him. And we didn't talk about coffee dates or romantic scenes again. We just held each other. A month later, filming ended. Alexander came home. We moved in together. Not into his penthouse downtown. Into my apartment. Because he said he wanted to be where I was comfortable. He was there every morning, making coffee, reading scripts, arguing with me about what to watch on TV. He liked documentaries. I liked reality shows. We compromised. We watched documentaries about reality shows. It was normal. It was imperfect. It was perfect. His family invited us to dinner. His grandmother pulled me aside. We were in the kitchen. She was making tea. Chloe, she said, you're good for him. I try. He was lonely before. I know. Don't let him be lonely again. I won't. She patted my cheek. Her hand was soft. Good. Then she handed me a box. It was small, wrapped in velvet. Open it. Inside was a brooch. Gold, diamonds, emeralds, an antique. This was my mother's, she said. Her voice was quiet. And her mother's before her. It came from Russia a long time ago. Now it's yours. I can't. You can. You're family now. I put the brooch on my dress. It sparkled under the lights. Alexander saw it when I walked back into the dining room. His eyes softened. He walked to me. He kissed my forehead. Grandma, he said, you didn't have to. I wanted to, she said. Now eat your dinner. It's getting cold. A year later, Alexander was nominated for his first major award, the Golden Globe, Best Actor, for the film he shot in New Mexico. He asked me to be his date. The red carpet was chaos, cameras everywhere, reporters shouting questions, fans screaming his name. He held my hand the whole time. His palm was sweaty. He was nervous. I squeezed his fingers. You'll be fine. What if I trip? Then you'll be the adorable one who tripped, and I'll be the one who caught you. He smiled. Inside, the auditorium was enormous. Seats everywhere. The stage was huge. We sat at a table with his family. His mother was there, his father, his grandmother. Nicholas was there with his new girlfriend, a woman who ran a nonprofit in Africa. She was lovely. We talked about her work, about mine, about nothing and everything. The awards went on, category after category. Then his category came. Best Actor. The presenter opened the envelope, and Alexander Donovan for his role in Desert Light. The audience applauded. His mother cried. His grandmother cheered. He stood up. He kissed me. Then he walked to the stage. He accepted the trophy. It was heavy. He held it in both hands. He looked at the audience. Then he looked at me.
I have to thank someone, he said. His voice was steady, but his hands were shaking. A year and a half ago, I was in New York, feeling sorry for myself, and a video appeared on my phone. A girl kissing her phone screen, calling me her husband. I thought it was the strangest thing I'd ever seen. Then I watched it again, and again, and again. I showed it to my mother, my father, my grandmother. They all thought I was crazy. Maybe I was. But I flew to Austin. I went to a charity gala, and I found her. Chloe, you kissed your phone, and you changed my life. Thank you. The audience applauded. I cried. His grandmother was crying too.
His mother was smiling. His father nodded at me. I nodded back. After the ceremony, we stood on the balcony of the hotel. The city was spread out below us. The lights were glittering. The night was warm. Alexander, I said. Yes? I have a confession. What? I still kiss my phone sometimes. He laughed. His laugh was loud. It echoed off the buildings. Even though you're right here? Especially when you're right here. He kissed me. And I kissed him. And the night went on. But that's another story. The end. Or maybe just the beginning.